Pleasant good night again. Tonight we on the N16 Almera again. Right? It still had the knock sensor code, so we had to troubleshoot that still. Right? But when we go into the data stream and we want to check the trims, we realizing that the O2 sensor stick high or rich. So a good O2 sensor, this value is supposed to be oscillating between 0.1 and 0.9 volts. Right, so it's supposed to make like a sine wave. So you're supposed to get rich and lean, I think it's 5 times within 10 seconds. So you're supposed to oscillate between rich and lean 5 times within 10 seconds. I will confirm that. But right now we stick on 2.49, that is the maximum. So this could probably mean that the sensor wire short battery voltage. Right? So we go in and do some testing inside the bonnet. So I go in and disconnect I go and switch off the vehicle. Right now the vehicle running, so I go and switch off the vehicle and go in the bonnet, disconnect the O2 sensor, and we could do some testing with the multimeter. Right, so we on battery negative, making sure the leads working, battery voltage. Right, we come in on the connector. Right, so pin 1, battery voltage. Right, pin 3, supposed to be ground. Pin 2, right, 2.93 volts. Right, so that's reading correct. Right, so again, pin 1, battery voltage, pin 2, sensor wire 2.93, pin 3 is ground. Right, so that's correct. So we go in and check on the scan tool using the test light to make sure that the signal, it have integrity between the signal wire and the brain. So the test light hook up to battery negative, touching it on positive to make sure it's working. Right, so if we touch it on pin 3, right, so pin 3 we get our light. Right, pin 1, from this how I'm looking at it, right? So this pin 1. Pin 1 we get a light, that is battery voltage. Pin 3 supposed to be ground, so there is no light. Pin 2 is sensor. Right? So there is no light because there is 2.3 volts as well. Alright, so we're going to get the scan tool to make sure we get in circuit integrity. Right, so the scan tool hook up, we're on the O2 sensor. Right, and we're still on the test light, still on battery negative. So we go in and touch the middle pin. Well, we wouldn't really see no difference because it's already on 0, so it's supposed to go down to 0. So now we go in and switch it from battery negative and put it on battery positive. Alright, just touch the light on negative to make sure we light in. Alright, so we go in and touch the middle pin. So we touch in the middle pin and nothing. So that's supposed to go up. So some way we're not getting connectivity to the brain. So I want to start the vehicle to see if it needs to be started first. Right, so it's a good thing I start the vehicle. When I start the vehicle, the 0.3 volts show up, which is what we see. Right? So we're gonna leave the ignition on and think that it wasn't working. So again, we're on battery positive. Right, we're touching ground and we light it. So we're going and we're using battery positive on pin 3, pin 2, sorry. You see, pull it up, 249. Alright, so that means we're getting circuit integrity. Straight to the brain. So the brain reading. Right? And all the wires, everything looking like it's working properly as well. So still on battery positive with the test light. If we touch pin 3, lighted. Right, so that confirms that ground. That grounding is grounding something on one of these two here, where grounding. The positive coming from the ignition, but it also sharing 12 volts with like the I think the TPS open and close throttle switch. It's sharing 12 volts with that and some other sensors. Right, so again, if we touch middle pin, right, touching the middle pin there, battery positive, pull up. Right, pull it up 249 volts. The reason why I'm using a test light and not running direct, because direct would be too much current flow and that could blow the brain. So we confirm circuit integrity to the brain. So the problem might be the O2 sensor. So what I'm going to do is switch off the vehicle, reconnect the O2 sensor, check back the signal and see if we get in the 249 like it was showing before. If that happening when we know the O2 sensor back. What we could also do is test the O2 sensor resistance. It's supposed to be, I think, between 2 point something to 5 point something ohms. I will confirm, right? I will confirm in the subtitles. So we check in the heater circuit, which will be pin 1 and 3. So we set in the multimeter for ohms, right? And we're making sure when we're touching the leads to zero them out. So we zero ohms. Right. So we're touching 1 on pin 1, 1 on pin 3. Right, excuse the poor visuals for now. I'm just trying to get the leads to touch the pins while I try to man the camera as well. So I think everything touching there. Right, and we are at 7.8 ohms, 7.7. Right? So we just want to check with the middle pin, see if... Right, so the middle pin and outer one, nothing. And same thing with... So we go in the vehicle, switch off, hook back up the O2 sensor, start back and see what we're doing. Right, so we reconnect the O2 sensor, we go in and start back and check the scan tool to see what kind of data we get. Right, so we reconnect the O2. Right, when we check the scan tool, again 0.3, 0.29. If I rev, it's supposed to go rich then lean. Next, it's not crossing 0.4. So that is a sensor problem. You need to change the sensor. Right? And that is how we diagnose the O2 sensor. So without going into too much headache, just taking out the brain and checking, you was able to check shorter grounds, shorter positive. You was able to check the integrity of the signal wire straight back to the brain using the scan tool, using the test light. So although the resistance on the meter reading correct, the sensor itself might be bad.